Hello lovelies, this is Jofia DIY and thank you for joining this class. In today's class, I'll be teaching you one of the ways you can produce your Texapon at home without buying Texapon for your production, like liquid soap production, shampoo and all that. Okay, I'll be making use of a bowl, a turning stick, water and the ingredients for this Texapon production. I will start by adding 60% of the water quantity into the bowl I'll be using to mix this. Okay, for this particular batch I'll be using 500 ml of water, so I added 300 ml of the water into the bowl. Now this is my SLS rice. You can also use SLS powder, that is for another formulation. This particular one today I'm using SLS rice, the normal SLS, the one that looks like rice. That is what I'm using. And take the quantity I'll be needing. I'll keep that aside and measure the second ingredient, which is sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate will help in thickening or causing the reaction that will turn to Texapon. Please don't use cooking salt. Some people have asked me, should I use cooking salt? Don't use cooking salt. Use sodium sulfate. It is common. It's an industrial salt. Okay. So I'll start by adding in the SLS into the 300 ml of water that I put in this mixing bowl, and I'm going to stir the SLS and keep it aside for it to hydrate. Okay, now once the SLS hydrates, it's going to everything will just become liquid. Now I'm adding the sodium sulfate into the remaining water. I'm going to give it a stir, mix it very well, make sure that it dissolves very well before I keep it. So I'm going to keep these two ingredients and come back when they are fully hydrated or when they are fully dissolved. It's going to take about 30 to 45 minutes depending on the quantity of SLS you are using for your production. Okay, this is about 30 minutes and the SLS has completely dissolved. Can you see? It is now like water. There's no single grain of SLS in that bowl. All right, so I'm going to put back my hand glove to continue with this production. So I'm going to mix these two ingredients together. I'm going to add the sodium sulfate, which has dissolved, into the SLS, which has dissolved also, and give it a good mix. All right, so when you're mixing this, make sure you mix with, as in you mix it with force. Okay, make sure you mix it with force for the reaction to fully take place. All right, so this Texapon production is for those that are fully into liquid soap, into hair shampoo, into other cleaning skincare product that do buy Texapon in large quantity. All right, so I'm going to mix it very well, very well, but I think this bowl is restricting me from giving this a good mix, so I'm going to transfer it into another bowl so I'll be able to mix it well. If you notice, I added a little amount of water because I noticed the mixture is becoming thick. Okay, so when you get to this stage and your mixture is thick, very thick, you have the advantage to add water. Okay, sometimes it happens that when you are mixing it, the whole mixture will become, the texture will be, the consistency will be normal, like the normal Texapon in the market, but sometimes it will become as thick as this. So when you notice something like this, please add water gradually until you get that drawy, like free consistency. Okay, so I kept on adding water at this stage, but gradually. If you add all the water at once, you may not know the required water that it's needed. So that is why you should add your water gradually at this stage. Sometimes some of my students, they will allow it to clear, they will allow the bubble to clear before adding the water. Sometimes some people do add at this stage, and I'm adding at this stage. Okay, so I'm going to get a free consistency like the Texapon in the market. Then I will leave it for 24 hours for the bubble to clear. Once the bubble clears, you're going to get your Texapon ready. Okay, I'm adding water and I'm getting this consistency. It's free. The consistency is free, it's not thick. If you allow it to get to 24 hours with this texture, the Texapon you get to be very thick. Now look at it. Can you see how light the consistency is? So this is the consistency you will get yours too. Then you now leave it for 24 hours for the bubble to clear. Now this is close to 24 hours. Can you see how the texture is? Now my Texapon is ready. All right, so the liquid soap I'm going to make, the hair shampoo, the body wash I'm going to make, I'm not going to buy Texapon. This is what I'm going to use, and that is why I want to teach you this, especially for those that usually buy Texapon in large quantity for their production. Thank you for joining this class, and don't forget to ask your questions in the comments and I will try my best to answer you. Can you see how shiny this is? If you use this to make your shower gel, your hair shampoo, it will give you a kind of shiny look as if you added fertilizer. Can you see? This is exactly what I expect every one of you to achieve. Thank you for watching and see you in the next Texapon production.